In this third episode of the Systems Reset series, we're going to talk about your calendar and why poor scheduling doesn't just cost you time, it costs you the right clients. Let's get into what you need to know to reset your scheduling system, but more importantly, how you can design a calendar that protects your energy and works for your life instead of against it. Welcome to the Mind Your Time podcast. I'm Shannon Baker, your coffee-loving host, business strategist, and systems expert. And I guide consultants towards systems that protect their time and elevate their expertise. So if you're ready to run a business that supports your life and not the other way around, you're in the right place. Each episode shares grounded strategies rooted in my Power in Motion framework to help you lead your client experience with clarity and confidence. So grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and let's dive in. Have you ever been in the middle of cooking dinner and your phone rings? It's a client who missed a deadline and now they want you to save the day again. So they say, "I'm sorry, I'm just getting to your email. Is it too late for you to take care of this for me even though I missed the deadline?" Now, if you're a people pleaser like I used to be, thinking it would make my clients happy, you might say yes, even though inside you are irritated because now you have to work late into the night to get it done. Then suddenly you're in a bad mood. Your family doesn't have your full attention even after dinner, but your client is happy right now because they got what they wanted again, even though they didn't give you what you needed on time again. And guess what? This is going to keep happening unless you change how you operate. That's why the first step to taking control of your calendar is setting clear boundaries. And you need to start by setting office hours. And I have a secret to share with you. Office hours are not the same as your working hours. Office hours are when you're available for client communication, things like responding to emails, taking calls, etc. Working hours are when you actually get stuff done. And as an entrepreneur, that can be any time of the day, any day of the week. It's up to you. Here's a perfect example. Maybe your office hours are Monday through Friday from 9 to 4, but because of school drop-offs, you don't start working until 10. Well, that's okay, as long as you clearly communicate that. And personally, I don't start responding to emails until after 9 a.m. because my morning routine usually takes an hour or more, and I stop responding to emails at 5 p.m. Now, the game changer for me was how I started managing my inbox. Most of the time, I only check my emails 3 times a day. Any emails that require a response when I check one last time before I shut down my laptop for the day, they're scheduled to go out the next business day during my office hours. This forces me to stick to my boundaries and reinforce them with others, and they don't even know it. Now, if you're thinking, "Well, Shannon, that sounds nice, but I can't just stop checking emails." Well, here's the thing. You don't have to get perfect with it overnight. I didn't. I started by cutting back to just checking my emails 4 times a day, twice in the morning and twice in the afternoon. Well, one of those times was in the evening, of course. And when I got comfortable with that, I scaled it back to 3 times a day. Remember, it's all about progress, not perfection, and reinforcing that with your time, that helps you put those boundaries in place and keep them. And here's a tip that can help you with that right away. Set up an autoresponder that lets clients know that you've received their message and you'll respond within 24 to 48 business hours. That way they feel acknowledged and you give yourself the space that you need to reply during your office hours instead of reacting the moment that email hits your inbox because you're chained to it. Now, here's the exact line that you can put in that autoresponder today. "Thanks for your message. I've received your email and will respond within 24 to 48 business hours during my office hours. If it's urgent, please mark it as such in the subject line." Let me tell you, that one sentence can give you back hours every week because you are no longer chained to your inbox. But the truth is, the first person who has to change their mindset about this is you. Once you set new rules around your time, the real shift comes from you sticking to them, even when it feels uncomfortable. And it will feel uncomfortable at first. Now, if you listen to episode 2, you'll remember that we talked about your onboarding process and how it's really leadership in disguise. Your calendar is where the two connect because boundaries around your calendar actually starts with your onboarding process. See, when you set expectations up front, that's in your welcome email, in your service agreement, and you review them during your kickoff call, you're not just telling clients when you're available, you're teaching them how to work with you so they respect your time. This is exactly the kind of reset I guide my members through step by step with the right tools to make it easier for them to stick to it. Now, once you've set and communicated those boundaries around your time, the next step is to look at how your calendar actually functions day to day. Because even if you told your clients your hours, if your calendar is messy and it's always open, those boundaries are not going to work. And believe me when I say you're going to have clients that test those limits. That's why this reset is so important. So the first lesson is that messy calendar is costing you more than time. When your business and your personal calendars are not synced together, self-care and family time is going to vanish right before your eyes and your business is going to consume your life. Now, I know you may not be sure how to sync the two together, so here's a quick starting point for you. Pick one calendar, whether it's Google, iCalendar, or something else, whatever you will use every day, and then make sure every client call, meeting, request, all of that is in there first, things for your business. But I also want you to add personal non-negotiables. That's things like school drop-offs, workouts, family time, doctor's appointments, any recurring appointments. That way you can look at that digital calendar and see at a glance whether or not you're double booking yourself or overbooking. And you don't need a fancy system to start doing this. You only need one calendar that shows everything in real time. And then let's talk about your discovery calls. Because when they're not filtered using an intake form, wrong fit clients, they just waste your time and break your focus. And when you're overbooked, you can't deliver your best work and your confidence, it takes a hit. Now, I know you've probably told yourself, well, I'm going to fix my calendar when I get more clients. But honestly, more clients is not going to fix a broken calendar. It's only going to magnify the cracks and you're going to be more drained and more frustrated. Every week you wait to fix this is another week your calendar runs you instead of the other way around. I mean, think about it. How many hours did you lose just this week with back and forth emails to schedule one call or wrong fit discovery or sales calls? How about late night client emergencies? If that continues to happen, how much time will you have left to do your best work or actually enjoy your life? Not much. And this next lesson is a common mistake that I don't want you to make. Having a scheduling tool is not the same as having a scheduling system. Because I know you might already use something like Acuity like me or Calendly, but if it is not synced with your personal calendar and reflect things in your business accurately, that means it's not built around your actual work capacity. Then it's also probably not set up with filters, which are intake forms. So it's just another open door to your time. And if you think you can just hire a VA to handle your schedule, let me tell you, you cannot delegate what you haven't defined. If your scheduling system isn't clear or your calendar doesn't reflect your life in real time, your virtual assistant can't reinforce those boundaries around your time, and both of you are going to be stuck and frustrated. Not to mention, you will be paying them to manually complete something that could be totally automated and more efficient, which is a waste of time and money. Now, inside the Mind Your Time Society, I walk members through building a true scheduling system step by step so that you're not duct taping your tools together or guessing. Instead, you build a schedule that actually supports your life. And one of the members used to have her schedule wide open, so people were booking calls almost every day of the week, and she was burning out. She actually said that she dreaded opening her email or looking at her calendar because it was always filled with meetings that may not be worth her time, or she was continually getting requests that she didn't have time for. She was working nights and weekends just to keep up. And even then, she felt like she was failing her clients. But after she used the scheduling system resources inside of the membership, which one of them is a 90-day roadmap, she cut her discovery calls in half and started attracting only the right fit clients because they were filtered through her intake form. So that gave her back 10 hours a week. That's hours that she now spends serving her best clients and actually taking weekends off. And I was really proud of her this year because she told me she finally felt like she was leading her business again instead of her business leading her, to the point that early this summer, she was able to take a totally unplugged 7-day vacation, which she had not been able to do since she started her business a few years ago. How was she able to do this? Because she spent time using the membership to build her business systems. Now, if you've ever felt like your inbox or your online scheduler is running your life or ruining your life, that's exactly where she was. And if she could reset her systems and reclaim her time using the Mind Your Time Society, you can do it too. Now, I know you may be thinking, I don't need another membership because I'm not going to use it. And I get it because I've been in the same place. But that's why the Mind Your Time Society is built around guided resets in a 90-day roadmap. That way you always know exactly what to focus on so you don't feel stuck or overwhelmed. And if you're thinking, well, this sounds like it's exactly what I need, but I don't know where to start. Well, again, inside the Mind Your Time Society, you get access to the 90-day roadmap, the starter stack that has resources to help you start building your systems one at a time, and other resources like a welcome kit and onboarding process workbook that makes this reset doable. You don't have to figure this out alone. But now let's talk about today's third lesson. When your calendar is structured, you create freedom. Your discovery calls are filtered with pre-qualifying questions. Your personal and business calendars stop competing with each other. And you know exactly how many clients you can take on without burning out based on the season that your life is in. So as you can see, this isn't just about efficiency. It's about elevating your role. A clear, protected calendar positions you as a leader, which is what you want. When this happens, you stop being on demand and you start being in demand. And if you join us inside the membership, you get access to some discovery call intake form questions that you can add to your online scheduler to filter calls and set expectations before a client even lands on your calendar. And when you combine this with the other resources inside, it's just what you need to reset your calendar and protect your time for good. Now, let me address the hesitation that I think you might be having, that putting something like this in place may make you seem rigid or unhelpful to clients. But the truth is, boundaries aren't restrictive. They're professional. Clients actually respect you more when your business has structure because it shows them that you can lead their project with confidence. And while they may push back at first, stand firm, and before you know it, they're going to be setting boundaries in their business too because they're following your example. Now, over the last 2 episodes, if you've listened to them and done the challenges, you've already done some detective work, which includes decluttering the steps in your onboarding process and creating a document or form so you can start repeating yourself during onboarding. That work probably showed you the questions you answer most often or the information you end up chasing clients for time and time again. So this week, I want you to take that discovery and apply it to your calendar. So here is this week's quick win challenge. I want you to set up that autoresponder that I gave you earlier in this episode with the exact lines that I gave you. That's going to give you back hours. And to make this even easier, I've created a free boundary reset scorecard that you can grab from the show notes. It takes under 2 minutes to fill out, but it shows you exactly where your time is leaking in your business, whether it's unclear office hours, not having a response policy, or a calendar that just isn't synced with your life. And the truth is, if you see 2 or more X's on that scorecard because it's missing, you're probably losing about 5 hours every single week. Those are hours you could spend serving your clients or actually resting or enjoying life, or maybe coffee with a girlfriend. Now, if your scorecard feels a little rough, I don't want you to overthink it. Start with a simple step, setting your office hours. That is the fastest fix anyone can make that's a business owner, and it sets the tone for everything else. But once you've got your scorecard, I'll walk you through step by step how you can turn those X's into check marks, green check marks inside the Mind Your Time Society. There are copy and paste scripts, templates, and again, that 90-day roadmap, so it makes it much easier for you to do this. So here are 3 big lessons from today. A messy calendar costs you more time. It drains your energy, steals your self-care, leaves you overbooked, and a lot of times it's with the wrong clients. So more sales is not going to fix this. It's only going to magnify the problem. And your tools by themselves, they don't solve the problem. Without clear boundaries, a tool like an online scheduler is just another open door to your time, and we need to close that. And when your calendar is structured, you actually create freedom by protecting your energy. You attract the right clients by using intake form questions on your appointments. And that finally helps you start feeling in control of your time. That's the reset you need. Now, if you want to take a shortcut, which I highly recommend, that will include using the 90-day roadmap, the starter stack, the ready-made intake questions. They're all waiting for you inside the Mind Your Time Society. And that's where you'll get access to everything you need to stop letting your calendar control your life and start building a business that actually supports it. So that's it for episode 3 of this reset series. Now, in the final episode, we're going to bring it all together so you can see the big picture of how these resets connect and what's possible when your back end finally supports your growth. Thank you for tuning in today. If this episode feels like a breath of fresh air, it's because you're already craving a business that supports your life, not one that steals your time. If you want help spotting what's quietly draining your time and energy, you can download the Back Office Power Checklist at theshannonbaker.com/checklist. And if this conversation resonated with you, make sure you're following the podcast on your favorite platform so you don't miss what's next. We'll keep breaking this down together, one intentional step at a time. So until next time, keep calm and streamline.